There are 4 roles to followership. The first one is valet. Let me hear you say valet. And I don't mean the kind of valet that parks your car when you dine at a fine Chicago restaurant. I am talking about the kind of valet that Alfred is to Bruce Wayne and Batman. What's a great valet do? A great valet knows what's ahead in your day and lays out the clothing, equipment, and accessories you need to be successful. What it means to be a valet at work is make life easy for your teammates. If there's a gap that you see, fill that gap. Don't wait to be asked or told. If somebody, maybe a project manager, isn't great at the financial aspect of the project, somebody's got to fill that gap. Make it easy for your boss and your teammates to be successful. Be a gracious valet. Second role is a Socrates-like mentor. Let me hear you say Socrates. Socrates was historically famous because he asked provocative, counterintuitive questions that forced the questioner, the learner, to discover their own answer, right? And the reason he was able to do that was because he was so intelligent and had such a broad perspective. Why this is good for you, you individual contributors, you early career folks in the room, is because in order to do this, you can't just know your job. You got to know your boss's job, and to some degree, your boss's boss's job. Having that level of knowledge and perspective will allow you to be that catalyst on the team that asks those counterintuitive, provocative questions. This is about amplifying your teammates' strengths and supplementing their weaknesses, all these roles. Third role, chameleon. Let me hear you say chameleon. Demonstrating the chameleon role shows that you have the professional maturity to know when to be a standout and when to be subtle or even invisible. Great followership is sometimes about not always having to be the center of attention. You may have done some work. You may have set the account up for success by researching it and making the architecture just right, but then it comes time to turn it over to the salesperson. And just because you don't get immediate comments on that doesn't mean they're not appreciative. It doesn't mean that, and when I speak to millennial audiences, this always gets a lot of pushback. This doesn't mean letting yourself being taken advantage of by your bosses. What it means is there are some times when it's right for other people to get the immediate credit and let them shine. People who can do that, people can earn a reputation for seeing around corners and putting those answers out there before the questions can even be asked. They'll be a standout even while they're blending in. And then finally, what Jack Welch calls the pastor-parent role. Let me hear you say pastor-parent. In his great book, Winning, which you should read immediately after you read my book, Jack says, pastors hear the sins and complaints of an organization without recrimination. And parents love us and nurture us, but they make us take our medicine, and they give us coaching fast and straight down the middle when we're off track. If you can earn the pastor-parent role on your team, you will have become a trusted advisor, a go-to influencer, and that's a very powerful role to be in. So what are you saying, Cory? I am saying that if you can be an enabling valet, a provocative consultant, a situational chameleon, and a trusted advisor, you will be leading through your followership.